Okay, so just let's get start the class, and this class is going to be very practical class. We already have covered some theory part. Okay, so now let's have some practical knowledge on SQL. But before that, we are discussing this structure query language in our last class, and we have talked about what is SQL. What is SQL, right? So SQL is basically a language which we use to give command to our tool. And what is this tool? This is a tool which use relational RDBMS, relational database management system. Like we have MS, which we are going to use is MS SQL, Microsoft SQL. Okay, so SQL is basically a language through which we are going to give the command to this tool, and based on our command the tool is going to insert some data and retrieve some data. Okay, and retrieve some data. Okay, so almost all relational database management system use SQL, structure query language. What is relational database management system? This is a model. We have seen various type of model present in our today's days. We have seen network model, we have seen hierarchical, many more are there, and relational model is one of them. And in relational model we store our data in the form of tables, right? And this SQL language is almost all relational database management use this SQL language for data manipulation. Data manipulation means inserting data, deleting data, update the data, delete the data and alter the data. All kind of manipulation can be performed by using this SQL language. SQL is a non-procedural language which this one we already have discussed in our last class. So non-procedural in basically meaning that in this language we just need to tell the tool what you want, what exactly is going to do this tool. It is totally depend on different tools, so it is not our responsibility. In our programming languages we do instruct how to do a task. Let's say I want to add two numbers, so I will give instructions to the computer. Take an integer a, then b, and then return, take one more variable sum and return the value of sum. So in programming languages we give the instruction how to perform a task, but in non procedural or query language we just give the instructions what you want. It is how is going to be performed, it is not our responsibility. Our task is just to tell the computer that what you want. Okay, and we have talked about that whenever we give some commands to our this tool using SQL language, these commands can be divided into four categories. Data definition language. In this DDL language, all the commands which is basically used to create something, delete, these kind of commands are under this data definition language. Definition means it is going to define the tables, it is going to define the database, it is going to define the meaning the physical presence or absence can be handled by this data definition language. We are going to elaborate this more. And we have data manipulation means all kind of deletion, all kind of update, all kind of insert, meaning inserting related to data. We all kind of manipulation can be performed using this category of DML, data manipulation language. Then we have a data control language, transaction control language, data query language. In this class we are going to discuss this data query language. Okay, So types of SQL commands, basically we are going to discuss this DDL, DML, DCL, TCL and data query language. So in data definition language we have create, drop, alter or truncate. Create means creating anything in our database. It can be a database itself, or it can be a table, it can be a column to a table. So all kind of creation which is under this DDL is create command. So create command is one of the DDL, data definition language. Drop means deleting. We are going to discuss what the difference between drop and truncate, but for now this drop is also to delete, and this alter is to use change anything. Let's say this, I have created a table called student, and I don't want this student table name as a student. I want the table name as a student underscore information. So I can change the name from student to student information by using this alter command. We are going to see one by one all of them. So let's start with the create command. So DDL changes the structure of a table, like creating a table, deleting a table, altering a table, etc. These kind of commands are under DDL. All DDL commands are auto committed. Auto committed means it is going to save automatically. If you will just write a query, let's say, and you will when execute this is going to be auto committed, means it is going to perform permanently. This means that saves all changes are permanently in database. Here are some commands that come under DDL. So what are the commands which come under this DDL? Create. So the first one is create command. To create a new table or a database can be performed by this create command. So let's just have a practical one. Let's say this is my tool, which is Microsoft SQL, and I want to create a database. So the command would be, first of all, create. This is a command to create anything. So let's say I want to create a database. So I will write create database. I want to create database. So these can be termed as keywords. Keywords in SQL. What is keywords? And we provide comment using this double dash. Okay, so this can be termed as a keywords in SQL. Keywords are basically the words which is already present in our SQL language, and we need to write for a particular purpose. So we want to create a database. So I will write create. What I want to create? I want to create database. So I will write create database, and then after you need to provide the name for your database. Let's say I want to create a school management software. So I will give my school management. Okay, so this is the keyword. These are the keywords. Create is a first command. What I want to create? I want to create a database, and you need to provide the name for your database. So this is going to create a database. So let's select this line, and you need to click on execute here, or you can simply press F5 to execute this. Now you are going to see a result section here. So command completed successfully. Okay, we are getting this message, command completed successfully, means it has created a database with the name school management. Now where is this database? I want to see. So you need to go inside this database folder section, expand this one, and you can clearly see the school management software here. So it is a database. Okay, what is a database? We have discussed in our previous classes. Database is nothing but a collection of tables. There can be 10 tables, there can be one table, or there can be very multiple tables present in a database. So database is basically a collection of tables. For now you can see we are still more things in our database, but for now you only remember that database is a collection of tables. So now we have already created this school management. This one is our school management, and when I expand this table section, we can clearly see that there is no tables present in this database. So now let's again use the same as create command to create a table now. But for that you need to write create, and this time I want to create the table, so I will write create table. But there are much more things we need to discuss from the slide first of all. Okay, so this create command come under data definition language. It is going to change the structure, meaning we need to add something, we will delete something, we will alter something. So these kind of commands will be data definition language. The next command which is under this data definition language is alter. Alter for alteration means changing anything. Database created a database school management. I don't like this name, so I want to change the name. So what will I write? I will write alter. What I want to alter? I want to alter the database name, right? So now we need to provide the new database name. So we are going to see that alter command as well. Then we have a drop command, truncate command, and rename command. So alter means changing anything, and renaming is just to rename a name. We are going to see the difference between alter and a rename. So for now we are directly going to jump into create command. One by one we are going to see all of them. Okay, so create command is basically, as the name defines, used to create something. It can be anything, it can be database, it can be a table. So to create anything we need to use this create command. Alright. Create is a DDL command used to create a table or a database. It comes under DDL command. Creating a database. How we can create a database? So we have just seen to create a database in RDBMS, create command is used, and the syntax would be create. Then what you need to create? You need to create database, and then you need to provide the name of your database. So this is the syntax how you can create a database. We have just seen about this, right? So for example, I want to create a test database. So I will write create database and the name of the database. The above command will create a database named test. Is it very clear to you? I think. Okay, now next, creating a table. We have just seen the creating, how to create a database. Now database is what? Database is a collection of tables. This is called as a database, and these are all the tables. So database is basically a collection of tables. So obviously when I create a database, I need to have some kind of tables should be present there, right? So create command is also used to create our table. We can specify the name and data types of various columns along. So we already have seen about data types, right? We have seen various data types present in SQL in our previous classes. So now we are going to use all of them one by one. So for creating a table, what we want, let's say I want to create a student table. So obviously in a student table we do not have only the name. Just in the case of database is a collection of tables, and this database is only going to have one property, that is name of the database. But this is not the case with table, right? In our table we do not have only the name of the table, but also need to have properties, some other properties like some other attributes. should be present there. Let's say in student table I want to store the information about student. So what kind of information I want to store, this should be also defined, right? So those information are nothing but attributes, right? So we need to define all the attributes which we want. So let's say in our student table, what I want to do is I want to have some properties like name of a student, and I also want to age of the student and roll number of a student. These kind of information I want to store in our student table. So these are attributes, right? So while creating a table, we need to define two things: the name of the table, as well as the attributes of the tables and their data types. All these information need to be written while creating the table. So let's say this is name would be string. So how many to store any string value, what we can use? We can use with character, or we can use varchar, right? We have discussed in our last class. So which one we should use, character or varchar? Because I already have discussed about this two differences and where we can use these two. So I would like to know from you guys.
Now it depends on the size of the data that's gonna be entered.
Yes, so obviously name is not a fixed length, right? Someone may have a
Yes.
very large name, someone has very short name. So it totally depends on what variable length, right? So obviously we will go for from character to varchar. We are not going to use the character data type. Character data type used when we have a fixed length of string, and varchar where we have a variable length of a string, right? So obviously name is a variable kind of thing. So we are going to use varchar for this name property. Okay, now age. Age should be what data type? Age should be what data type? It is going to definitely integer data type. Then roll number. So roll number depends on from school to school, right? Because some school has only 1 2 3 this kind of roll number, and someone has like say college or something like this, they have a very long type of roll number as well, right? So we are going to basically think for a small situation, we are going to use the integer roll number. Okay, all right. We have already discussed what the table name should be and what are the attributes we want. Let's now focus on syntax. So we need to write create, then the table keyword. These are two keywords, or you can say command. And then we need to specify the name of the table. And after that, you need to provide this all the columns one by one. So let's say I want to create columns name. So for the first one I will write column name. So column name would be name, and then after defining the name of column, you need to define the data type for that column. So this should be varchar, or let's say 100 characters. Then specify a comma. Then you need to specify the second column name and their data type. This will continue like this. This is totally depend on us. Let's say in student table I want to create 100 columns. So I need to specify all the 100 columns here with their data types. So let's just actually create a table in our database. So here I am going to create a table. And one more thing, this table will definitely be present in our which database? This would be present in our school management database, right? So always remember, while creating a table, you need to select that database, in which database you want this table. So I want this table inside my school management. Here you can clearly see we have so many data types. These are all these are all databases. I have created so many databases. For now, let's say I want to create a table, and this table should be present in which database. I need to specify that as well. So always remember to select that database from this drop down before writing any query. Now let's say I want to create a table, and our table name should be student. Okay, after that I need to specify the column names, columns name, and then the data type for that column one by one. Okay, so let's just create one by one. Let's say I want a name, a student name. And one more thing, in our name of anything, student, or in a table or a database or any name, we cannot specify the blank space here. Let's say student name. So you can clearly see here it is going to distinct as a two names. So we cannot specify blank spaces. We need to use underscore for this kind of situation. Student name, and the data type would be definitely varchar of let's say 100 size for now. Now second, I want the roll number to be present here. So I will write roll underscore number, and then this would be integer. So I will specify integer here. Then I want age. Again, age is going to be integer data type. So I will specify integer here. So now this is going to create a table called student, and these columns should be present inside my student table. So let's select all of them and click on the execute button. So command completed successfully. Basically means we have created our tables. Now let's just right click on this table section and refresh it. It is going to show a table called student. So here you can see we have a table called student in our database.
कार्ड कहाँ रखे वो वाला पूछ रहा है।
कौन वाला ये
अच्छा
वहाँ पे एगो पीला कलर का कार्ड है, वहाँ पे एगो लाल कलर का कार्ड है, अपने देख लो।
हाई राम जी सिंह वाला है।
जा प्लीज यार, कहाँ तुम लोग बकवास करते रह लो नहीं कि तुम। Okay, so when you can clearly see we have a table called student in this school management database. So what are the columns present in this? I need to again expand this one. Let me just use my magnifier so that you can clearly see. Okay, so here it is our school management database, and inside this database when I expand this table section, we can see that we have only one table called student, and this student table we have just created. Now let's expand this and expand this column section. What columns is present? So we can clearly see we have a student name, roll number, and age, right? So we have three columns present in this student table. So we have successfully created one of our table called student. Is there any doubt? Alright then. Now let's talk about alter command. What does this alter command do? Alter command is used for alteration of table structure. There are various uses of alter command, such as to add a column to the existing table, Alter means basically to change the structure of something. It can be inserting a column, to rename any existing column, to change data type of any column or modify its size. So these are all under the category of alter command. Alter command is basically to change the structure, update the structure. Let's say I have created a student table and now I want to column one more column to the existing one. So we already have created our student table, right? And inside this student table, let's say I want to add this address column. I also want to store the address of each and every student. In this case, what I need to do, I need to add a column called address, right? So how we can do that? Again we need to write any query to do the same, right? So this alter command is going to perform our task. We are going to look how we can do that, but for now, what kind of alter command can do? It can rename, or it can add a new column. It can rename any existing column. So let's say I have created a column student name, right, in our student table. Let's say I don't want the name as a student name. I want to change the name, change this name to as name only. This column name I want to change. So again I need to use this alter command. The next thing, to change data type of any column or modify its size. Let's say I have created the age column, right? And this age column by mistake I have defined as a numeric. Obviously age should be of integer data type. So when you want to change the data type of any column, again you need to use this alter command. So up to now we have seen 3 tasks which we can perform via using this alter command. And the next one is, alter is also used to drop a column. Drop means to delete a column. Let's say no, I don't want this age command should be there. I mean this age column should be there. I want to delete this age column. So again to drop means to delete a column, you need to again use this alter command. So alter command overload used to change the structure of a table, right? Add new column, we can delete any column, we can change the data type of any column, or we can rename the column, right? So these 4 tasks which we can perform via using this alter command. Okay. To add multiple columns, we have just seen in a table how to create a table with multiple columns, right? So this is the syntax. To alter table name, and we need to specify the column name, data type. Let's say I want to add one more column to our existing table. This is our student table which we have created, right? Now let's say I want to add one more column called address. So how we can do that? I need to use the alter command. Alter, what I want to alter? I want to alter the table, right? And now what I want to do? I want to add one more column, right? So we can specify alter, then the name of the table, and we need to specify the table what we want to alter. So basically alter, then what you want to alter? I want to alter a table. Which table? You need to specify the name of the table. And then what you want to do? I want to add one more column. So you need to write add here. And inside this you need to specify all the column names which you want to add. For now we only want to add one column, right? The address column. So you need to specify the name of the column and then again the data type of the column. So it is going to add one more column to our student table. So we want to alter what? Alter a table, and we need to specify the name of the table, student. And what I want to do, I want to add one more column. So I will write add, and inside and what the columns which you want to add, you need to specify that again in the form of columns name and their data type. So I can add one column at a time, or I can add more than one column. So let's say I want only to address to be added to this student table, address, and then the data type of the address, and let's say define as 500 characters. So now again when I will select this and execute this, it is going to show me an error. Let's say add one more column as DOB date. Yeah, all are good. Okay, let me just quickly go through my Google. Alter table to add one more column. Maybe some syntax issue are there. Okay, so we do not need this bracket here actually. This is the problem. We can use this without anyone. Okay, commands completed successfully. So now let's again refresh this student table and see if the address table has been added to this table or not. So when I expand this column section, you can clearly see here we have an address column now. Address of varchar 500 size. So this is an alter command to add one more column to our existing table. Okay, so this is clear for us. Now to add a column with a default value. What is default value? We need to understand that first. Default value basically means that if something is not present or if something is not provided, then it is going to store a default value, right? Let's say uh, I run a school, and inside this school I take student details. So whenever a student come to me, and I'll basically ask for some information like name of the student and their age and their mobile number or something like that. Let's say some student came to me and he just told me that she or he doesn't have a mobile number in his home or in his house. So in that case, what can I do? I can use a default value. I will store a default mobile number for every student which do not have their own mobile number. Right? So default value is which is going to be present in our core table when we do not provide any information. So alter command can add a new column to an existing table. We have just seen that with a default values now. Let's say in age column in our student table, I run a school of 1 to 5 class. So obviously the age should be in between 10 right? Less than 10 or 5 to 10, right? So in case the student doesn't know his or her age, in that case I want to insert a default value of 7 age 7. Okay, so let's just do this and try to understand this one. So we can add a new column to an existing table with her default values. So in case whenever a new student will come, and if he or she doesn't know about his age and his parents will come later, so until that what can I do is I can use a default value. So for now let's say I will enter 7 as a default age. If the student doesn't know about his age, or if he know about his age, let's say he will told me that my age is 6, so in that case I will store 6 for him, right? But if he doesn't know, then I need to go for a default value. So let's just quickly do this, and the syntax should be alter. Then we need to specify what I want to alter. I want to alter the table, then the name of the table, and add. What I want to add? I want to add a column and their data type and the default value. So this is how we can alter. Let's say I have added a date of birth, and we have just seen the age column which is present in our student table, right? But for now I want to add one more column called DOB, for date of birth, with a default value of 1st Jan 1990. Okay, so how can I do that? Let's just quickly go to our Microsoft SQL, and I need to write again. I want to alter. What I want to alter? I want to alter the table. Which table you want to alter? I want to alter the student table. And now what I want to do? I want to add one more column. So I need to specify the name of the column, DOB, and the data type should be date, right? We have already discussed about the data type and the default value. Now after defining the name of the column, the data type of the column, after that you can define the default value. So here you can define your default value, right? So let's just quickly define a default value, and we have seen the date data type, right? In this we need to specify something like this, in this format, right? Only this is going to accept this one. So this is our default value. We need to have this keyword as a default before that. Now it is going to run. Some command completed successfully. So we have altered our student table, and added one more column called DOB, and we have specified a default value, right? Whenever a student doesn't know about his date of birth, I will specify this default value is going to be inserted for this student. Okay, so this alter command is very useful. It is going to create, it is going to alter. So the above command will add new column with default value, right? So we have just seen about that. Now to modify an existing one, until now we have just added more columns to our table, right? We have added the address column, we have added the DOB column, right? So until now we have just added the columns. Now we need to modify an existing column. Alter command is used to modify data type of an existing column. So let's say roll number is integer right now, right? For now I want to create this roll number as not in integer. I want to make it as a varchar of 10 size. So how can we do that? We again are going to use this alter command. Let's now see the syntax how we can do that. alter what I want to alter, the table I want to alter, and which table you need to specify the table name. And this time you need to specify this keyword modify, because we until now we have just added, so we have used this add keyword, but now we do not want to add anything, we want to modify the existing one, right? So we need to write the modify, and then the name of the column and the data type. So the existing column name should be present here, and if you want to change the data type you can change from here. So for example, let's say address size, here we have changed the address. So for now we have an address column with the size of varchar 300. So I think it is very long enough, so I'll just reduce this size to 30. So again I'm changing, not changing the data type, but I'm changing the size. So we can do this both, change the size, change the data type. Okay, so we can do that too. So let's just quickly go to our this query command, and we need to write alter. I want to alter the table, and which table I want to alter, the student table. And this time I do not want to add anything, I want to modify. So I will write this modify keyword. After that you need to specify the bracket sign here, and which column you want to modify. I want to modify the address column, and this time I want to make the size of this address to be only 3 or presently we have a 500 as a size. Now I want to reduce the value, so I will write 300. So I need to write something like this: alter table student modify, then the name of the column which is going to be present here, and then the data type which currently I want.
Hello, I think it
Yes,
is trying
please.
to highlight something like it's an error.
Yes. Maybe there will be some syntax error. Okay, I'll just remove this bracket. No, it is still showing the error for us. Okay, let's just quickly go again with our Google. Okay, so this one, alter table name, and the, okay, we need to specify this keyword here. What I want to change, I want to modify the column, right? So I need to specify column here as well. Now again it is showing me same error. So this is our syntax basically. Okay, so let's just skip this for now. I will find a default one for this, because basically SQL is used in both MySQL as well in our Microsoft SQL. So there will be some slight syntax issue with this alter for now.
Okay.
Alright, now the last one, to rename a column. Until now we have changed the add the column name, and now rename a column. So how we can do that? Again we need to use alter command, and you need to use this time a rename as a keyword. So alter, then the table, and what I want to, which table I want to rename, then the table name, and rename old column name to new column name. So let's just quickly use this one too. and let's just see the output. Is it going to run or not? So for now, I want to change the name of address as location. We need to specify the name of the table, and then we need to use this rename keyword. Rename actually all the keywords are not identified by my MS SQL. There must be some setting issues with my MySQL. No. SQL is not a case sensitive language. Meaning you can write in a small letter, upper letter, or anything you want. It is not a case sensitive. Very important. Not a case sensitive. So what we can do is we can just go online, because might be problem with my tool. So I can use this W3. Okay, so here what we have done, we have a table called customer, and I want to add an email. So I write something like this. So I'll just run this command. And now let's just write this command to our online one. Alter table student name, and we want to rename, right? Alter table. For that we need to first see that which command is present in our customers tables, which columns are present. So let's say we have an address here, right? So I want to change this address to location. Now let's just start alter command. We want to alter a table, and then I want to alter the column, right? Which table it is? It is a customer table, and I want to change the name of this address, right? So what the syntax we are going to follow? We are going to use this keyword rename, and after that you need to specify the old column name to, and then new column name. Okay, now let's just run this. No, it is not still working in this online database. Or let's have a it is not working anymore. Okay, just let's remove this. I will change my tool so that it's going to work fine. But for now we need to concentrate on the syntax part. So how do we are actually going to write all of the syntaxes? This is all going to work, don't worry about that. We will find some better tool online, so that all of us can use that tool, and it should be online so that easily we can access all of them, right? So I will find.
Yes.
Okay, the above command will do what? It is going to rename address column to locations table. So the address column is now will have a name of location instead of address. Okay, yeah, that's it for today's class. We have just seen about the alter command basically, and in alter command we have to rename a column, to change the data type of a column, to add columns, right? So these kind of things can be handled or can be performed via this alter command. I hope it is clear. If is there any doubt, you can let me know.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you for today then.